So in this video we will study about effects of structure on acidity, how the chemical structure produce some different type of acidity. So first is effect of structure on acidity, the bond polarity. So a bond is considered as a polar if the electronegativity difference between the atoms involved in the bond is significantly different. So for an example, he has given an acid which have HX bond, and usually right hand side is more electronegative element, and left hand side less electronegative element. Electronegative. So what happened? What is the meaning of electronegativity? As we have seen in the earlier slide that X has more electronegativity, it means it has a power to pull the electron towards itself, and then resulting X will get slightly negative charge and H will get slightly positive charge. So this bond become polar bond. Polar bond. Right. So the higher the polarity difference, the stronger the acid. So this is the region. Then if you will compare like HBr and HCl, HI and HF, so these are all in the halogen acid, halogenated acids, and the electronegativity difference will decide which acid will be stronger and which acid will be less strong. So we have to be, this is the key factor, electronegativity difference, right? So this is the one rule according to the bond polarity and structure activity. Next is effect of structure on acidity, bond strength. So first we studied about the bond polarity, next is bond strength, and then stability of conjugate base. Three things are. So bond strength is the amount of energy required to break a bond. Bond strength decreases as the atom increases in the size, and a stronger bond result in a weaker acid. So for an example, if hydrogen is attached with a small atom and hydrogen is attached slightly larger atom, and if hydrogen is attached with the very heavy atom, so this bond will be stronger bond. Means we have to give some more higher energy to break this bond compared to the atom. So bond strength decreases as the atom size increases. So size increases, size is increasing, but acidity is decreasing. And bond strength weak bond strength, weak bond. Another thing is this stability of conjugate base. The greater the stability of conjugate base, the stronger the acid. So if the conjugate, for example HX, if X is very stable, if X ion is more stable than H plus, X is more stable, so this will be, acid will be strong. strong acid. So these were the three effect on the acidity because of the polarity, bond strength, and stability of conjugate base. Another thing is periodic trend and acidity. For binary acids, binary acid means two elements. For an example, HCl, HF, and HBr. So these are all called binary acids, or two atoms are involved only. In a period, acidity increases from left to right. So for binary acid, if we will go from left to right, acidity increases. And in a group means from top to bottom, increases, acidity increases with increasing atomic number. So increasing order of acidity, as we will go from top to bottom, acidity increases, and as we will go from, if we will compare methane, ammonia, water, and HF will be the stronger one, and if we will compare HF, HCl, and HBr will be stronger acid. So acidity increases for the binary acid as we are moving from left to right or top to bottom. Next important thing is this periodic trend of oxy acids. So periodic trend of oxy acid means oxy acid means oxygen containing acids. For oxy acid that have the same structure, acid strength increases with increasing electronegativity of the central atom. For an example, if we will compare HCl and HBr, so here you can see hydrogen is common in both of them, oxygen is common in both of them, and one oxygen, one hydrogen, one hydrogen. The only difference is chlorine and bromine. And we have seen as the previous slide that bromine is more electronegative than chlorine. That is why this acid is weaker than the strong HClO. So this rule we have to follow, that same structure and acid strength increases with increasing electronegativity of central atom. So same structure, HClO3 and HNO3, and HClO3 will be stronger acid than HNO3 because nitrogen is less electronegative than the chlorine. For oxy acid that have the same central atom, and acid strength increases with increasing number of oxygen atom. So for an example, chlorine, here we have chlorine, and then chlorine, and chlorine. So central atom is same in all four of them. One is hypochlorous acid, one is chlorous acid, one is chloric acid, one is perchloric acid. So the chemical formula for this one would be HClO. Here is HClO2. Here is HClO3, and here is HClO4. So as we increases number of oxygen atom increases, so acidity also increases. So these are the some periodic trends about the oxy acids. And let's see, the next part is just we can summarize about the acid base reactions. A proton has no electron, and base always has a lone pair of electron. Base always has an extra lone pair. Lone pair means two electron, and they are non-bonding, or you can say non-bonding electron. An acid base reaction is actually a transfer of electron from base to the acid. and we have seen the first Arrhenius equation, Arrhenius acid base, then Bronsted-Lowry base, and then Lewis acid base. So Lewis acid base are based on the electron transfer, Bronsted-Lowry acid base are based on the proton transfer and acceptor, and Arrhenius theory is based on the hydrogen ion transfer, and out of that Lewis acid comprises everything, Bronsted-Lowry and Arrhenius theory. Next is Lewis acid and Lewis base. Let's take one more important look here, that Lewis acid, in the Lewis acid theory, a base can be donate its electron to something other than hydrogen. So Lewis theory says that all the base compound can donate electrons something other than the hydrogen. So Lewis acids are electron pair donor. So they have extra electron which they donate, and Lewis base are the this is the electron pair acceptor. So Lewis acids are those compound which they accept the electron, and Lewis base are those acids which they donate, electron pair donor. And for example, ammonia have one lone pair on the nitrogen which is donating to the BF3. So that is why this will behave as a Lewis base, and BF3 will behave like a Lewis acid. So this was the brief discussion about the Lewis acid and base, and the last slide of this video is the fundamental tools of this chapter. Recognize conjugate acid base pair, how you can recognize pH, px, POH, they are all can be calculated by taking negative log, and if we know the hydrogen ion concentration or X concentration, we can take 10 raised power minus px or pH. Kw, dissociation constant of water, is equal to hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion. Solve equilibria for acid dissociation constant, write hydrolysis reaction for weak base, and then Kw is equal to Ka and Kb. Use Kb for the conjugate base for weak acid and recognize whether salt is acidic, basic or neutral. So from here this chapter 16 is complete. Please solve as many as question possible and review these slides and videos to get answer